Two-stroke is no longer in trend, but no one will forget it. It's something that cannot be substituted by anything else. There is a lot of things special about two-strokes. Its three-cylinder variant may remind you of three-rotor sound-wise, and there isn't many of them around. Suzuki GT380. Marketed as the Suzuki Sebring in North America, the GT380 was the smallest triple-cylinder model of the Suzuki GT series. Unlike the larger water-cooled GT750, this one had fins and a clever channeling through the head for air cooling. While it obviously had a 3-tube header, the middle exhaust was bifurcated and a symmetrical 4-muffler setup was used. Polaris Indy 500. Celebrating the 25th anniversary on the market, Polaris introduced a new model, the Centurion 500, later known as the Indy 500. All engines during that time were supplied by Fuji Heavy Industries, today's Subaru Corporation, and the 500 was no exception. It had 34mm Mikuni carbs and 3-to-1 exhaust. Detroit Diesel 371. Although the diesel two-stroke runs differently without the crankcase induction, it is still a two-stroke. The 371 Detroit was naturally aspirated only, using the positive displacement blower by roots, and was a perfect power plant, for instance, for tractors. Suzuki RP68. 19.3 horsepower from less than 50cc makes it 386 horsepower per liter in 1968. The engine had tiny 20mm Mikuni carburetors and a water pump for water cooling driven from the 14-speed gearbox. I don't know how a 19 horsepower bike can reach 200 km power, but with a 2 and 2.25 inch wide front and rear rims respectively, it obviously could. Melkus RS1000. The Melkus RS1000 is based on a leather frame with all-around independent suspension. It was propelled by an AWE 353/1 engine from the Wartburg 353, upgraded by 3 Cobbs instead of just 1. It had a clutch from the Barker's B1000, and they only made 10 cars a year in average. Kawasaki Triple. As buyers' preferences were changing more towards sporty and fast motorcycles, Kawasaki had a delayed Z1 project back then, which later on became the most powerful 4-stroke 4-cylinder motorcycle. A new triple series came to prevent clients to go elsewhere during the time gap, and offered potent bikes with 250 up to 750cc 2-stroke 3-cylinders. Saab 93, 95 and 96. Back in time when Saab actually started with automotive production, they developed 2-stroke engines based on a DKW design. The first twin-cylinder was replaced by a triple, either using single or triplet of carburetors. Later versions, instead of the oil premix, used oil injection system. Arctic Cat Thundercat Triple. In 1990s, the snowmobiles were getting really fast, one of the examples being the Thundercat series. At first it came out with a 900cc liquid-cooled Suzuki engine that cranked out 160 horsepower, but then Arctic Cat stepped up the game with a 1000cc 175 horsepower unit. It is said that it can make over 200 horsepower with minor modifications. Kawasaki KR750. In the factory known as the 602, this KR750 was a real beast. There was only 25 of them built, and they took some technical solutions from the air-cooled H2R triple engine. The bike was fast, but it encountered many crankshaft problems. DKW3 equals 6. The name started as a slogan to highlight equivalence between a 2-stroke triple and a 4-stroke 6-pod. The triple definitely fires as often as the 6-pod and has stronger torque than a comparable 4-stroke, but its power still wasn't something to write home about. But you could opt for such a comfort feature like an automatic gearbox.